This broadcast is inappropriate for all ages, right here on the house that Kamurai built. It's the Vlogcast. I am Kamurai here talking about games and stuff and things and life and whatever I fucking feel like, if we're being honest. I, of course, am multi-streaming on YouTube, Ustream, Fire Talk, YouNow, Periscope, and Meerkat because I can. That's the real answer, isn't it? Oh gosh, I'm still tired and sleepy from yesterday. Yesterday was the international holiday known as Tabletop Day. I guess thank you Felicia Day and Will Wheaton. It's really what it comes down to. It's a holiday the internet made up. Or more important, Geek and Sundry made up, i.e. Felicia Day and Will Wheaton. To celebrate board games all across the world and to play board games with your friends and whatever. So it's one day of the year that I definitely try to make an extended stay of it, whether or not it's exactly convenient. Because it's been busy lately. Oh yeah, I'm wearing my Outlaw Moon shirt that I won. They had some really crazy colors that I didn't appreciate so much. I grabbed like a tan one. I mentioned that, and they're like, and the response was like, yeah, isn't it great? And it's like, no, understand when people are complaining about things. I'm trying to make sure my Meerkat stream doesn't fall over. The mounts or whatever that I made out of these Girl Scout boxes are not the strongest thing in the world. I may have to replace them very soon. And again, they're not complicated things. They're literally, it's a Girl Scout cookie box with some holes cut in it so I can put the phone in it, and that holds it up in a mounted position, because this is about the right height that I needed, and I happen to have a couple. And then I used a second box, or a third box rather, to make the bases for them so they don't just tip over. But where they sit, the monitors get in the way. I don't know. It's a weird thing. I don't know if I'll keep doing the mobile streams or not, but it's what it is. I may start doing them like, oh no, I probably won't do them on the road. I've got to figure that out. So the contract that I had for work is officially over on Friday. I'll get paid sometime in the next couple days for that month. So starting Tuesday, I'm going to be a full-time driver. I'm going to take a day and make sure that I've got everything around here done, because I wanted to like clean the house today. And I'll probably do some of that, but I don't think I'll get everything done. And then I may or may not be playing a game or two. Or I'll do some today, and then I'll take a break this evening to play games. What are you doing, crazy ass? Like, because I haven't played Sun Age in a little bit. I'm realizing kind of what I wanted to be doing versus what I'm getting done. Yeah, I don't have the green screen up. It's in the other room right now. I'm trying to think if I'm gonna pare it down to just the one section, because right now I have it running sideways across all three sections. But it's only wide enough to do one, and I think if I do that, that'll be fine. That'll get me through video games or whatnot. I also have I got the overlay done. It's nothing fancy. I don't like fancy, if I'm being honest. I like to the point. I like that it adds like a clear border, so it gives my window a certain range, and then from here down it's just information, and then you don't have to worry about the rest of the noise. And then I just did who I am, and then I did Twitter, and then wherever else you can find me. So it's who I am, how you can talk to me, and then extra information. So if you go to that link, http://dns.org/media.php, that's the primary page that like I load up for, or I have loaded up for information. It's actually got some information there too. So if you want to find out anything that's going on with us, you go there, and that you can get to all the other links. It's not a portal page, but it's pretty close. But I'm glad I got at least the PHP page done. I'm going through and trying to finish out the Apache SSI web page version, and then I'm going to go back over to MVC. I may go back and update all the media pages on the website, because I've got like 7 different versions of the website up. But what was I gonna say? I'm gonna go back to MVC. I'm gonna try individual things. The biggest block that I had programming with the VC for the databases was that I couldn't use. It didn't seem like it wanted to let me use the same object for things. It was defaulting the schema. Now, for whatever reason, MySQL overrides it fine, but Oracle and Postgres won't. So the next step seems to be to make individual objects to test it that way, and then I can eliminate whether or not it's a problem with Oracle or the object that I'm using to call the databases. Um, and then once I get those done, I can I can verify that I can access both the SQL Server Express and the SQL Server main databases through individual objects, and then I can go back and try to do multiple models in the same web page, because that's got to be the next thing. I've got to be able to designate model with something other than just model, or specify which model, even if it's an array of models. Yeah, for the viewers, this is what my cup looks like when it's not made of bricks. And I like the big brick background, don't get me wrong, but I finally got my bookshelves in, and they're cheap bookshelves. They're not fancy. They don't even these where it lines where it meets up top. That's not even flush. Really irritating. I actually want to get a piece of wood to fill that gap so that they are flush, and I can cinch it together and make one big bookcase. Uh, there's problems with that. Uh, to no end, it would seem. Um, but I would like it where it acts as one big bookcase. I think it would make it more stable, less likely to be damaged. And if as long as I can take it apart when I need to move it, I think it'll work fine. Um, I guess let's talk about that for a moment. Uh, so yeah, so this is all my games. It turns out like stacking my games like this. Oh, I guess yeah. I guess the mobile people can see. Um, like Dominion takes up a whole shelf. It's like perfect right now. So once Empires comes out, I don't know what I'm gonna do. What I can probably do is take. Jeez, why? Oh, this way. I can probably take like Guilds and Cornucopia, or Cornucopia and Alchemy, since they're halves. Oh no, I tried that. You can't stack them on top of each other. So I'm gonna have to figure out something. Probably what I'll do is I'll just take Empires and put it here where Catan is, and slide all Catan over, and then that'll let me get rid of Splendor on that shelf, and I'll move it down here somewhere. Oh, is there actually a gap there? There is. Interesting. But you can also see that Ascension is finally taking up a whole shelf on its own, and they've changed how they're doing the boxes. They stopped doing the little boxes for whatever reason. But they've changed a lot of their styling. I still got to look into getting promo packs for Ascension. I think I'm missing one promo card for Dominion, but I'm caught up on almost everything else. That's not true. What was it? There was something else. Oh, Thunderstone I still need to jump into, but I didn't want to. I'm not very motivated on that one. I don't know why. I still need to pick up LL mine. I've got Barbarossa up here. Uh, god awful game. No, it's a great game. It's a horrible theme. I apologize. I apologize. That's really what I meant. I really had a point. I'm trying to figure out what it was. Because I'm up on Ticket to Ride as far as I want to be. Seven Wonders, Small World. They're just not putting out new stuff for that. I recently acquired Pandemic. I'm going to film an unboxing for that. I filmed a bunch of unboxing videos the other day, and I'm going to make myself go through and edit those here soon. As long as I'm meeting my personal quotas for driving, like I'm going to be able to make my own schedule. So the question is going to be whether or not I can realistically make my own quotas. I've got a little bit of cushion to make up for it if I can't, but it's not a lot. So I'm going to have to cinch down and not go crazy buying things that I don't need for a little while. But that doesn't mean I'm going to stop altogether, because it's one of the few things I do. I swear I had a point that I was gonna make. Oh, Eminent Domain. I definitely need a lot of promo stuff for that. There's extra planets and things like that I'm missing. And scenario. I think there's a scenario pack I'm missing. But I really want to play a couple games of that with the scenarios. I didn't really get to play that or Battle Cruisers, which is actually like such a slight game that I can't imagine people not playing that and playing that quickly. Oh man, this sounds lame as hell, but I can't. I'm so thankful for my girlfriend. It's so awesome to have someone who's willing to go out to tabletop day with me all together. I think we get a point where she kind of felt trapped and she didn't want to be there anymore. But we left soon after that. And I think that came down to her getting hungry and just being like, okay, we've been playing games for how long now? And then being overwhelmed with the new rules. So if we can take some time over the next year, if we make it that far, get her to learn a couple games. I think she'll do just fine. I even got her to buy Love Letter to play with her family, but she left it here. It's actually right up here above my my Ninja All Star trophies. And she won. Was it Cash and Guns? I think she got second place in Cash and Guns yesterday. We'll talk more about this later in Gaming Division, but I'll talk more about her side now. And then she definitely beat me at Ticket to Ride, but she gave me the prize because it was like a little train set, because for a game she doesn't own. So I ended up giving the one set that the one guy was missing away to him, and I kept the two cool colors, the blue and black. So she's fantastic. Just so appreciative of her. Like, we got home and like we ate some pizza and we watched Mom, and she actually helped me clean up the house a little bit and put the games up, and we just hung out because we were both tired because it'd been a long day. But I don't know. We were just sitting, laying on the couch. I was listening to her heartbeat. It was fucking fantastic music. Just really enjoying her. So hopefully the next time we get together it'll be a little bit more romantic. But I don't know. Just so full of love. Eric cute butt. So I'm super happy to have her in my life. And I think in a situation that would be much more lonely and frightening then I'm already worried about it. I think she'll be a good person to have around here in the next few weeks. And of course she's friendly and she's super cute, so she got on better at the game store than I would have. Man, but oh my gosh. Okay, I'm trying to think of anything else I can segue to, because there's nothing really to talk about work anymore. I think at least two of the guys are staying on at Dell. Of course, they don't want me back. I didn't want to be back with the company that I was working for, anyways. And then the other guy's sticking around Houston, as far as I know, because he just bought a house there, and like he was thinking about moving up here to Austin, and I think they just decided to stay there where they've got whatever they've got going on. And he just had like a baby, or his wife had a baby. So there's a lot new. I mean, like, he was driving up here 3-hour trips to go to work, and like he wasn't driving up daily, but like if he wasn't driving up, he was paying for a hotel. So like, and then he was away from his family, his new house. His parents are there watching it for him. It was really kind of a massive amount of stuff he was dealing with, but I don't know. I was there. Both the pretty girls that I was dealing with gave me big smiles. The lunch lady person that I was talking to about video games almost every day. Like 20-second conversations, mind you, because I had to get out of the way so other people would come up. She pretended to miss me, so that was cute. But like I didn't really like go around like everything. I actually passed the majority of the feature team I was working with on my last step out, and like nobody said shit. Like one guy I think said thanks for holding the door because of the obligation. And then the creepy guy that I had to deal with, like I don't like I don't know if it was like I felt obligated or like I meant it, but like it was nice to meet people who were knowledgeable and stuff. So it's like that part wasn't insincere, but I was like, yeah, it was decent working with you, but it definitely wasn't a good experience. I'm glad I didn't say good. But like I don't know why he did that. I really don't think he liked me. Um, like he made it like just ridiculous faces and sounds trying to deal with me, and then like he would actually bother to come over in person to deal with me instead of just IMing or using the computers that we both needed to do our jobs and deal with the things anyways. I don't understand that mentality. Oi, oi, oi. Okay, sorry, I'm noticing weird blips on Ustream, but it looks like OBS is capturing correctly, which would mean that Minicam's picking it up just fine. If I go silent, the noise gate's not on. So I can't be dropping sound, can I? Wish I'd noticed this earlier. Bump, 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 bump. Okay, it looks like whatever inbred static, embedded static, is there is actually within the noise gate parameters. So I don't know. Maybe it's just the volume's low. I've found that like when I go to strip the audio, I need to bump it up by half again. Like so, it's at let's pretend it's at 50. I bump it up to 75. Um, it's balls. I don't know. It's just weird to see Ustream blipping like that. Boop boop. But it's fun to play with. It's a ridiculous how entertaining simple things can be. It really is. When I was at HavenCon last week, I didn't play with it, but there was a game thing, music thing set up where it was just like a bunch of knobs, and like you twisted it or whatever, and it gave you like music and little lights and effects and things, and it looked like people were fairly entertained by it. Like back in the day, you used to have like screensavers, or I think it was back in Windows Media Player in the day, you'd have physical representations of songs that were like lines or 3D objects. And so when your music played, it would Windows Media Player would example that out into whatever filter you gave it, and it would do a thing. And like people, I knew people who would watch that shit, and they weren't necessarily high either. That was because I get the idea of that if like you're like, oh, it must have been on mushrooms or smoking the ganj, puff puff, whoa. No, but it was just people being entertained by shit, and it's amazing that like stuff like that will still be entertaining, but people complain about graphics from 5 years ago, let alone 10 years ago. Um, like it's just not good, and maybe that's true. And maybe at the time it was just the fact that it was a novelty that we didn't have that before. Like, because you can still look back at like 8, 16, 32-bit graphics and be like, yeah, that's a person, that's a dog, that's a pot, that's a fireplace, and it's fine. But I look at like more modern versions. Come here. Come here. Don't duck down. Come here. I look at more modern versions of like the same games or games in the same vein, and it's not as good. It looks ridiculous for the art style choice, and it's literally the companies have decided that, hey, we're gonna do a thing, and they're gonna deal with it. And you saw how well that worked out for Microsoft, and you would think by now other companies would realize mandating the behavior of your customers doesn't work, because the customers go, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to want your thing anymore because your thing doesn't let me do what I want to do with it. I'm not saying that like the Xbox One didn't do all the functions that people wanted, but the way they had to interact with them to use it was not there. Whereas like PS4, it got like such a head start just by going, yeah, ours is a thing, have it, use it how you want to use it. So yeah, it comes down to people don't like being told what to do or given the implication that they don't understand what they're doing or how they're doing it might be wrong. Um, and we have so many people now regulating things, the way people behave and everything. It's very hard to try to accomplish. So one of the few ways you can do it is by restricting your hardware. Oh, Tux, what's going on? Restricting your hardware in that sort of manner so that people can't use it any other way. But then that comes down to whether or not they're going to buy your products at all. Oi, oi, oi. Kitty. Tux likes attention. Well, you can't really see him. Oh, can I do this without ruining the shot? There we go. Oh, don't claw me. You liked the attention. Have the attention. Make out with me. People hate it when I do that. It's so funny. I have just the most horrible tendencies for wanting reactions out of people like that. Yeah, it's probably my least endearing quality. My girlfriend. So, but it's so entertaining. It's like, I just want you to make this face, so I'm gonna have you make a face. I don't know. Maybe that's a control thing. Maybe that's a manipulation thing. I don't know. I'll have to look at it. Oh yes. Working on the game stuff. So that's the other thing I have to do on the website is I have to update how do I say it? The game rules. I have to go through the notepad files I have and try to lay it out a little bit neater. I know I'm missing some setup instructions for at least one game, so I've got to do that as well. I should probably make a list. But the stuff around the house I got to do. And I've got some shows to watch, so like I can definitely turn those on while I do that. I'm sorry your ear's missing. Oh god. He's really liking this, otherwise he wouldn't let me keep him here. You purring? You gonna purr for me? You're just so fluffy. It's all coming off. Alright, fine. You can go somewhere else. Where are you gonna go, though? You can't go there. There's no room for you. I've got cameras everywhere. Yeah, so, like, setting up for the... get out of the way. The unboxing videos the other day, like, man, I dragged a table in here. Like, I set up 3 camcorders. I set up the GoPro for the table view. I don't know if I'll actually use that. I don't know if I'll use the other camera too. I made a couple points of making use of it. So like maybe I'll have a couple shots from here or there. I had the phone recording, so I had to pull that off the phone. I'm still. Is it in the background? Yeah, it's almost done with the one. I've got one more camera to go. I still don't have. I don't have the old Barbarossa playthrough finished. Now, I only recently found the audio for that. But I had the 360 camera footage. What I may do is actually interlace the audio with the 360 footage. But my problem with that was trying to get what I think it's a hour's worth in 360 video, because the metadata tool doesn't seem to want to let it run long enough to accomplish that. So I'm gonna have to go back and have it try to do like the full video. I don't know. I'll have to figure that one out. Yeah, like I really feel like I should be making a list. Like it's not even a joke at this point. And if I had a pen sitting here, I'd just write it on a paper towel or a napkin. But we live in the day and age where we don't use pens. I could probably just start typing it, but I don't want to mess with the computer while I'm filming. Um, Plus, it's really hard for me to talk and type at the same time. I find myself interchanging what I want to say in one medium to the other. Um, what's that? Oh, I had another USB cord. And I can't hook that up right now because I've got one cord in and one cord on the camera. So that'll just have to wait. Didn't I have Cthulhu up there? Oh, he's hiding behind Risk Legacy. If you were looking at the YouTube footage, it's right there. I don't know. I'm really happy with that. I think it looks really good. I really do think that we're building board game boxes incorrectly. The horizontal motif it doesn't look good. I think it holds things incorrectly. People have tried to do interlays that take up space unnecessarily, and they're always bad. I don't know if I've seen a good interlay. So I took them out of Catan. I don't use the ones in Dominion's pretty good actually, but it's not good enough. I don't use ones in Dominion or Ascension. Battlestar, I think I ended up taking out just so I could put it all in one box. Eminent Domain, I white boxed. Splendor's good. Splendor fits for what it is, but they ever do an expansion, it's built to fail. Thunderstone probably has one of the best attempts. It's by the same people who do Smash Up, and Smash Up has the same thing. It's rows of boxes with foam in it. It doesn't look like this, but it's the same concept. You have things of foam to use as padding to fill in space to keep things organized, and it comes with dividers, which is a huge deal to me because it means that I don't have to white box it because it's done the same concept naturally. I really want to tear open Pandemic and see what's inside it. I've got to figure out how I want to do that unboxing. I don't know if I want to do as crazy a setup as I did before, but currently my overhead camera setup is actually fairly good. I figured out how to do it. It just takes 3 wraps of on the 550 cord to the tripod. So I essentially mount the tripod on a microphone stand, and then I wrap the 550 cord that's connected to the microphone stand to the end of the tripod, and it holds it in place fairly well. Zooming in was weird because when I zoom in on this camera, it gravitates to the bottom right corner. Like, I'll even example that for people here. So you see how it's creeping in towards my white box there, and my iron that I use to smooth out the things. There's my living room LAN cord. Oh, jeez. So that black bin is an insert that I took out from Super Dungeon Explorer because I could probably actually put that one back in the original box because the first edition box, I'm never going to use that again. It was actually, I mean, it wasn't too bad for their very first box for any game they've ever did, but I think they did much better just doing a normal box for Forgotten King. My point was saying that the horizontal boxes are bad is that I think doing it upright like books is the way to go. The problem is you have to build the inside of the box differently, and we haven't started thinking that way before. So to me, if you want to do that, you've got to like build the box vertically, and you've got to put the board in there vertically, and stack everything else on like in a manner. And it comes down to building in dividers and cubbies and whole containers and things inside there. And if you do that and you do it properly, you can actually reduce the amount of space that's necessary in the box. If you actually reduce the amount of space necessary in the box as much as you can, instead of having these big display boxes, you could very easily make it feasible to carry around a game and all its expansions. So I'll try to puzzle that out eventually. I've got so many things on my list of things I want to do yesterday. Um, Blender stuff, uh, write up these board game rules, website stuff. I've got to redo my resume, house stuff, which think is going to get the priority after I get off of here, because there's plenty of stuff I can do and watch a couple shows. And quite honestly, until I don't know, I might drop Sid a message and see if she's going to be available or not. Oh no, I gotta watch The Forgotten for hashtag Weird Movie Club. So why don't you go watch The Forgotten as well, um, and talk to us at Weird Movie Club on the Twitters, and we'll talk about it together, one way or the other. Um, but given what I just said, I've got to go. I slept in too much this morning. I ruined everything. So until you see me next time, I am Kamurai. Have a nice day. If you want to see anything else we're up to, click the annotations and they'll take you to our other channels. Thanks for watching.